What up, man? It's your boy, Mr. GC, Adrian Taylor, back at it again, man. And shout out to my nephew, man. I told him I was gonna do another story time before we go into the military, and so he actually leaves this coming up weekend. So shout out to my nephew doing big things. But to the story. So I got a couple requests because I've kind of mentioned in the past that me and my wife's first date wasn't all that great. And so people want me to tell the story of me and my wife's first date. Of course, I'm going to give it to you from my standpoint, you know what I'm saying, what I thought. I'm pretty sure she has her thoughts about it too. But one thing that we can both agree on is that it wasn't the best date. So one thing I always tell people, my friends that I talk to, when someone says, man, I went out with this person and I asked them like, how was it? And it's like, it wasn't bad. Wasn't really no chemistry. I wasn't wooed or wild or whatever the case may be. And I'm like, what does that mean? Because I personally don't understand that. I've never been wooed on the first date. So, I've had some good first dates, but I've never been like, oh, wow, this person has blown me away on the first date. Unless it's like my last video that I posted, super crazy, I usually will go out on 3 dates. If it's okay the first date, meaning they didn't scare me off, where I'm like, oh, this ain't gonna work. I usually give, 3 dates, not working, not feeling it, I move on. All right, so first date. Me and my wife, side note, me and my wife are gonna do how we actually met. So I'm not gonna tell that story. I'm just gonna jump right to the first date. So me and my wife met up at a mall. We met up at the mall, and it was different, man. So we met up at the mall, and we actually met in this restaurant. And she showed up. She comes in, and like, when I tell you, like, she was just looking at me like, yo, what's up? What you want? Like, that's how she came in, just kind of looking. And I'm trying to like crack a joke, like loosen it up a little bit, you feel me? Trying to kick a little swag to her and all that, you dig? She looking at me like, I ain't impressed. Like, come on, man. Like, I can't crack a smile. Like, yo, I could not get her to smile. I could not get her to crack a smile. I couldn't get her to do nothing. And so in my mind, I'm kind of thinking like, man, what's she here for? Like, yo, like, what's she here for? Like, she just being like real bland, like yes, no, like trying to get her to, have a conversation was hard. Now, mind you, we've talked on the phone, we've been communicating and talking back and forth. So this is kind of throwing me for a loop, because I'm like, yo, like, dang, she ain't giving me no rhythm. Brother can't get no rhythm. And so, of course, we eat and stuff, and it's like I said, man, it was like an interview process. Like, it was nothing was absolutely flowing at all. Like, it was crazy. Like, it wasn't horrible, but your boy was working overtime. Like, I'm trying to throw game, I'm trying to spit, you know what I'm saying? I'm trying to win, right? I'm trying to win over, get her to like me and all that, It wasn't working. Drink break. And so, got up out of there, we finished eating. And so we decided to walk around the mall. And so we walking around the mall, and once again, I'm trying to loosen up the mood, and I didn't make it no better. So we walking around the mall, and y'all know I kind of work out and stuff like that. And so I'm looking at my wife, young lady at the time. And so I squeezed her arm like, oh, okay, you work out. You work out, So my wife is slim. And so she took it as I was making fun of her. And so, like, I mean, of course, she didn't say anything at that moment, but you could tell, like, she got even more uncomfortable. So this is the thing. I'm setting you up. Like, she already uncomfortable as it is. And then I cracked a joke, and she even more uncomfortable. So your boy is really uncomfortable, taking L's. So as we walking around the mall, her phone's ringing. Right? And then eventually she's like, it's my uncle. Well, she's like, I gotta answer this. So I'm like, dang, on the date or whatever. And so she answers it. Y'all blew my mind. Because, once again, this is the first date. I didn't even know. She started speaking in Spanish. I was like, what? What? What are you doing? Like, in my mind, I'm thinking, what are you doing? You speak Spanish? I didn't know this, I had no clue. She spoke Spanish. So I'm like, oh, okay. So, mind you, she's on the phone, I want to say about 10 minutes. Now, we on a date. She on the phone for like 10 minutes straight. I don't know, you know what I'm saying? Of course, I don't know what the situation is. I don't know what's going on. I'm thinking like it's real rude, because I'm not trying to be all in a conversation and stuff like that. And so, eventually, she got off the phone and stuff, and then she kind of starts, like, she didn't explain it all the way, but she, kind of gave me a little bit, like, told me it was her uncle, he was calling, like, oh, okay. First date, though, so you like, I don't really know. I don't really get this, right? And so I'm kind of, at this point, I'm kind of annoyed a little bit. But, we did kind of talk a little bit, a little bit. It seemed like after that, she loosened up a little bit and we had conversation. We talked a little bit, but it was still just kind of like off. You know what I'm saying? Wasn't no sparks. Wasn't anything that I was just like, oh my God, like I have to, go out with her again. But like I said, I had the three date situation. So I'm like, okay, it wasn't, of course after, you assessing, well, let me finish it. So, we're walking around, we're talking and everything. And we was there for a few hours. And then afterwards, I think we went back into another spot and like had a drink. And then we kind of ended the night there. And, we was just talking and chit-chatting and, gave each other a hug and called it a day. And so on my ride home, I'm just kind of thinking about it. And I'm like, I don't know, should I ask her back out again? And I'm like, well, you said if it's not a crazy situation, you're getting to know people, you do 3 dates, if it's still the same way, then you don't. She didn't really, do anything that was horrible. No, it wasn't the best, but maybe she just needs time to open up because some people just don't open up, right away. And so, I know on her end, she was kind of thinking the same thing about me, like, not sure if I'm gonna go out with this guy again. But, of course, y'all know, you see the history, like we did end up going out again and it was a lot better. You know what I'm saying? The first date was just awkward and weird. I didn't know if I was even going to ask her out on another date. I didn't know if I was going to continue to talk to her. I didn't know if I was going to see her again. But the second date was great. And then the third date was even better. And so, you see what I'm saying? Like, when you say people, when you go out with people and you don't see sparks, like, what do you really mean? Are you really just not open to that person? Do you really not want to, are you not open for a relationship? Which is, all these things are fine. But my wife is a terrific woman and, I love her to death. She had my son. And if I went by the whole Hollywood sparks and, all of that craziness, I would have missed out on a beautiful soul, man, a great woman. So sometimes you got to think about that when you say there was no sparks, whatever that means. So yeah, man, our first date wasn't the best, but we got a lifetime to make more and more dates. So yeah, man, that's my boo thing right there. So yeah, make sure you like, subscribe, share, all in one swoop. Have any questions? Let me know, man. I hope you enjoyed this story. We plan on saying how we actually met. We're supposed to do that story together. I'm waiting on her so we can kind of do it, because I want to give her the opportunity to give her side as I give mine as well. All right, man. I'm out. Peace.